Hey everyone, this is going to be a slideshow of guinea pig pictures from Rosie's life, and we're just going to go through and I'll talk. More for my benefit than yours maybe, but you might find interesting too. Anyway, this is baby Rosie. This is the oldest picture that I have of her. This is probably 2013, maybe even late 2012, I'm not sure. She's probably like, she would fit in your hand in this picture, and she's probably like less than half a pound. They're just so adorable when they're tiny. Um, Their faces just get me every time. So here's Rosie with our previous guinea pig, Charlie, who's no longer with us. But Charlie was a good pig too. And Rosie was, even from a pretty young age, she was pretty unscared. Like her hunger for treats was often better than her fear of like things swooping down on her. So guinea pigs are kind of like prey animals, right? Everything wants to eat them normally. So they're kind of skittish until they learn to trust you. But Rosie was pretty good, and she would come up on her hind legs, and she would do up, that's what we called it, and she would go for treats whenever there's anything around. And once she came out, then Charlie would start to figure, okay, it's okay to come out. So you'll see here, this is an example, like Rosie will come out of the hut. Charlie will just sit in there being like, I don't know if I want to come out or not. But then, ooh, there's a broccoli. And next thing you know, they're both out there having broccoli, so it's good times. So this is Christmas of 2013. We get Rosie a little present. Put her on the tree. The lighting's not very good, but it's still a cute picture, so I wanted to include it. Here in 2014, we got a little iPod Touch, so we're like, okay, let's see how the camera is. It's kind of amazing, like, how much better cameras have gotten in the past couple of years, even. But there's still some pretty cute shots. Here with my wife holding Rosie. Rosie has a lot of different faces, so their mouths are very expressive, I find. Just a little bit of change in how their mouth is shaped makes them look quite different. So here's Rosie sitting up. Guinea pigs don't normally sit up like in the wild, but you can train them to, and they don't mind too much. Especially for getting their nails cut, you need to kind of sit them up a little bit. So she's pretty calm here in this picture. She's like, this is fine, I guess. She's like, I don't know why I'm up like this, but it's cool. Another picture of the two in their cage, just hanging out. They got along pretty well for the most part. At first, there's always a little bit of conflict. They had to figure out which one is the boss. But all good. This little guinea pig expression is so funny. So often I would just take pictures of me and the guinea pig and send them to Nicole when she's at work. And that would help, cheer her up through the day if she's having a tough day. She's a supply teacher, substitute teacher, they call it some places. So depending on how the kids behave, some days are better than others, right? Here there with the strawberry. So just going to town. So guinea pigs don't always go for new foods. They're kind of creatures of habit in a lot of ways, but if one of them starts to eat a new food, the other one's like, well, if the other guinea pig's eating it, it must be good. And that's like, the social proof is good enough for them that this is a food they want to be eating. So they both like strawberries. You don't want to feed them too much sugar because they mostly should be getting fiber and stuff, but once in a while, little treats, very good for them. Here's Rosie in her Sphinx pose. So she gets her little feet in front of her and just kind of sits down and has a relaxing time. She has like one white paw and like one dark paw. That's one of the endearing things about her. So we're just hanging out on the couch, and I think next photo she's going to be up on my shoulder. I used to joke she's like a parrot because she would just climb up on your shoulder and just hang out there like, hey, I guess I'm going to be here. Guess you get a better view of the surroundings, right? Maybe that's the idea. Anyway, she was quite a fan of this sort of position. And here she is lying on her back, and this is something that guinea pigs really don't do normally, because once again, like being prey animals, you can't run away if you're chilling out on your back. But Rosie loved her belly rubs like more than any guinea pig I've ever known. So she would just, rub my belly, then life is good. We're not even gonna worry. We're gonna just enjoy the belly rubs. Another one of them together. So time's going on. This is 2015, so this is well into the channel. I think I started the channel in like late 2013. So the guinea pigs have really like grown up along with the channel, and you know, they've had their voices heard on many videos. So this was taken during July, so my wife was away for a month with work and doing a summer camp, because otherwise they don't get paid in the summertime if you're a supply teacher. So we sent her this picture just to say, like, whoops, you know, we're doing good, we're just hanging out together, eating some veggies. Rosie is very happy in this picture to have an entire like stalk of, I think that's celery, maybe it's broccoli stalk, but I think it's celery. They'll usually drop it though. They'll take a few bites of it and then they'll drop to the ground, and then you got to pick it up and feed it to them again. So here's when we got our latest pig, which is Sunny, and Sunny's the little one over here. You can kind of see the size difference between like a full-size guinea pig, which is like maybe 2 or like 2.25 pounds, versus like the new one. But yeah, so Sunny's named after the runner Sunny LeBeau. Just call her Sunny the pig. And oops, whenever I click goes back. So these two are pretty good friends after a while. They'd always come to the edge of the bed because this is closer to where their cage is, so they could smell that like this is where their food is, and they're just like, can we get our food again? Can we have food? So here's Sunny just hiding in my pocket. It's nice sometimes when you're a new guinea pig just to have a little dark place to hide and be like, have some alone time. Rosie, on the other hand, is very outgoing at this point. Like, the more you handle them when they're young, the more they're just like happy to have human companionship and really get used to being handled. So this is them wet after having a bath. We didn't give them a bath too often. It's not their favorite thing, but it's good for them once in a while to have a little bath and get cleaned up. Especially their bellies can get kind of scuzzy sometimes when they're just running around their cage and lying down and stuff. So had a bath, shake themselves off, same kind of way a dog would. And then we towel them dry to make sure they don't get too cold. So here Sunny's just like climbing top of Rosie, like, you know, I'm the king of the castle here. So this summer, and I took them out a lot because I was working from home, and so if it was a nice day, I'd bring them outside to the yard. They really like to have some fresh grass, so if there's any time of day where they could come out and just chill out in the yard, I'd come out and sit with them, and we'd have some grass together. So this is like a weird little hut, or maybe more of a lean-to, I guess you'd call it, that we had built for them. Nicole had made this way back. It only has 2 legs, so the rest of it just dangles down, but it's a good size for a guinea pig to just have like an overhang. They're really comfortable having something over their heads because, again, like they're a prey animal, so they're always worried that something's going to swoop down and just like, you know, talons clutch them and never be seen from again. So she's having a good time hanging out in her little lean-to here. Oh, I like this one. So they're in a box. I used to use this box to bring them outside both at once, because otherwise they're kind of wiggly, and I would only want to bring one at once. So you take one in the box, and they'd be like, yeah, we're going in the box. So the box was a sign that there's going to be grass coming. And this was a very nice thing for them. So once we were outside with the box, we had this little cage, which we just made it a shelving, right? If you go to Walmart, you can get these little gratings with the things to hold them together, and this is for making shells, but you can make guinea pig cages on the cheap that way, and you can make them whatever size and shape you want when you do it like that. So that's your guinea pig pro tip. If you're ever going to make their cage, using these kind of cheap shelving is a great way to go. And you put the box out so that they would have some shade in case it was getting warm for them. Like, they're pretty much all fur, right? Like, they look like they're really big, but they're really mostly just like fluff, and then like some guinea pig on the inside. So you don't want them to overheat. And Rosie would love this box. She would go in it and she'd go out of it. She was like a turtle because this was like her shell, and she would, like, you know, pop out to get a particularly good piece of grass, pop back in. It's like, whoop, more grass. So this is a very good summer for Rosie. She got to eat a lot of grass, and I would just sit out there with my laptop or, you know, something I needed to read, and make sure no cats ate her, because there was a neighborhood cat that would kind of prowl about and look and say, oh, there's a tasty morsel. But as long as you're supervising your pets, it's fine. So here's Rosie getting some more belly rubs. These are pretty much her favorite thing ever. Like, she would just always chirp for belly rubs and go and just flake out and really relax. So, so this is her one white paw again. So the rest of them were dark, and we used to call this her Michael Jackson paw because the way he used to wear like a one white glove on his hand. Rosie was kind of the same way with her little paw. So this is kind of a rare picture of the two of them cuddling together in the house. They don't always like to cuddle. Sometimes they're like arguing over who should be in the house and have the best position and who should have the right food, and they all want to compete for things, and there's like a social status thing. But here they're quite happy to just just hang out in the house, have a little cuddle. So this is a cute picture for that reason. Oh, this is me trying the macros. So I got a new phone and the camera is much better. It's on the S7, and you can go for these like close-up shots and see like every little hair on their face. So if you compare it to some of the old ones, like the camera quality it's really kind of stunning how much different it is. Like if I go back for a second, now you can really see the artifacts and like the blurring in there. But I'm happy to get some really good quality pictures of Rosie in the recent months. This is probably my favorite picture of all. She's just like eating a dandelion in the box out in the yard. So she would eat the entire dandelion, no questions asked. Like you just put it in one end, give her the stalk, and she would chew the entire stalk, and she'd eat the flower too. She's like a little wood chipper. So we used to keep the dandelion under control in the yard, thanks to these guinea pigs. Another close-up shot. Looks like she's mid-eating a dandelion or something else. And some more guinea pig selfies. We used to call these pictures instead of a picture. I'd send Nicole and say, hey, we're having a good day. Me and Rosie are outside hanging out in the yard while I do my work, and it's a nice sunny day. Hope we're having a good day kind of thing. So that's all the ones I have for now. If you have any pictures, like there's probably some footage of her in the stream from StimHack Store Champs Invitational this year. So if anybody has that, you can send it over. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. But, overall, she had a really great life. A lot of guinea pigs don't get to go out as much or have as much attention, or, or even have friends, right? Like some people just have one guinea pig, and I wouldn't really go that way because you have to give them so much more attention if they get lonely. They're really a lot happier to be social animals and, have a little buddy. So right now it's tough on Sunny. She's kind of in her cage, just like, where'd my friend go? I don't know what's going on. But we're going to hopefully get a new guinea pig soon, and then they'll be together again. So there it is. Thanks for watching, sticking through this. Hopefully get back to new videos fairly soon. I'm not super feeling it right now, but maybe by the weekend we'll start up again. All right, thanks everyone.